Is that better? I think that's going to be better. Okay, let's start over. This was a silent movie. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Minor technical, as you saw, I was getting a few things shuffled around and ready. I'll start over. We'll start over for those of you that can't lip read. I'm going to say that Brian Vines, thank you for being on my stream. It's great to see you here, and you were here before the stream started and gave it a thumbs up. That's great. And then we have Steve Alpha here. Let's hope Barbie's not smoking hot tonight. Don't think she will be. We made some changes. We're going to do some quick wire up, and then we're going to actually turn her on. Take that how you will. 3D Experiments. Glass kind of 3/4 kind of full guy. My glass is 3/4 full. Brent Ferguson from Texas. Brian Vines is from San Antonio. We have Cliff D. We have Mr. Logan from Tucson, Arizona. And no, this is no longer a silent movie. That's welcome to the world of live streaming. Brent Ferguson's in Stone Oak. Stephen Alpha says, what? Because you couldn't hear me, I'm sure. Andy Visley says no audio. I think we fixed that. And let's see. And Brian says, yep, that's better. Steve Alpha says better. And David Wilson. Hello. Haven't seen or talked to you in a while. I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about you, my friend. I hope everything's going good with your recovery. And, drop me an email this week and let me know how things are going. So anyways, we only have 11 of you on tonight. I know there's somebody else streaming tonight live. I'm not sure who it was. I just saw quickly as I tuned into YouTube to pop my stream up to make sure everything was going to go okay. But that's fine. We'll just go ahead with the 11 of you, and we will get this thing wired up here. And I'll let you know what I've been doing through the week here. I have shorts on, so I don't know if you all want to see my legs, but no, I don't think you do. This is kind of the in the pajama behind the camera, and during the COVID thing when people were on their business streams and they had that nice top on. That's kind of how I am today because it is hot here. It is hot. So anyways, what we did this week, we did two things major. I wasn't really pleased with anyways, I'm not going to give reasons because I don't need to, but we switched out the SKR Pro V12 board and we put in the Octopus. Okay, the Octopus is already configured. Now, the only thing I may have to do because I put the Octopus in is I may have to put X and Y end stops because I'm pretty sure the Octopus is not configured for UART. But we'll see. We'll figure that out after. And the other thing I did, and this is going to be, it's going to be one ugly looking hot end to begin with, but I got the hot end wires pretty much all ready to put some extensions. I was going to use an umbilical board, but we kind of ran out of room because we had to use the larger main board here. If I can pop this up on the other camera here and show you guys how pretty this main board looks, or the back. So as you can see here, there's not a lot of room for the electronics. We're using our Pi-Zero 2W here on the other side here. Cameras are reverse. Oh, there it is right there. We're using the Pi-Zero 2W, and we put the Octopus, the Big Tree Tech Octopus in here. We moved all our stepper drivers over here, and then so we're going to wire up the Octopus. Software configuration is going to be a little bit listening and not watching or editing a video for release tomorrow. Awesome, Brian. Good. And I'll look forward to seeing your videos. I love watching them. So that's perfect. So yeah, we're going to just hook up the Octopus for the 6 motors that are on here and everything else that's on here. I'm going to have to pull up the wiring. Oh, I'm just having a brain fart here. I'm going to have to bring up the drawing for the Octopus so we know where all the wires are going to go. I pretty much know where a lot of them are going to go. And then, as I say, for this hot end, because we don't have room for the umbilical, I do have a different way I could go, but we're just going to do this for now to get it going. So we have plugs connected to everything coming from the hot end so that we can run the wires down to the main board. And we're just going to do that to get this thing going. And then perhaps later I'll hook up something different. We'll see, but I'm not out to win a beauty contest. This is not Malibu Barbie. This is Budget Barbie, I guess, if you want to call her that. You know, Barbie's used to having really fancy things, but she just may just not have fancy wiring for this particular build at this moment in time. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And we'll go from there. But I'll show you what I may hook up with her later on. We'll see. I do have a Big Tree Tech CAN bus system here. So we do have a CAN bus. Oh, that's a CB1. I don't need that. But we do have a CAN bus here that Big Tree Tech had sent me out quite a while ago. So we may see if this CAN bus will work down the road. But I didn't want to take the time because I really want to get this thing up and running and printing for you guys. It's been a long build to do this, mostly because of my inexperience with these sort of builds. And so in order to get this, you know, progressing and going, we're just going to go ahead with the really rough wired in hot end for now, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's get some wires plugged in. Now that I have the hot end all wired up, I'm going to just put the hot end back on the gantry here, and then we can go ahead and plug our various wires into the hot end as we need to. So let's go ahead and get that portion done. And as you all know, we've put the poke probe on here, which is in the, for those of you that haven't seen it, maybe some of you haven't, this hot end is using a poke probe, which is right in here with a dragon hot end in here. And so the poke probe, I tested it again yesterday, actually on Jerry's stream, and it seems to be working just like it's supposed to be working for a $1 probe. So we'll see how that's all going to work. So let's go ahead and put this back on. Let me give you the overhead here. And what the heck, we'll just keep this view for now. And maybe I'll change. Let's see what's this camera looking at right now. This camera's doing pretty good. So why don't we go ahead and raise that one up a little bit, and we'll zoom it in a bit. And then you can go, we'll just, whoops. Oh, there's the fan. It's a rechargeable battery operated fan. I can bring anywhere, 3 speeds, folds down to a compact size, but we're not here to see that. We're here to see this little guy right here. There we are. You came for the puns and dad jokes. Cool. I'm trying. Okay, so we just need a couple M3s here to hook this hot end back up. We'll get this hot end hooked back up, and then we'll get some wiring going, and then we will, I promise you, we will turn the power switch onto this thing before this stream is over. It may be the end of the stream when we turn the power switch on, but I guarantee we will turn the power switch on. So let's just see how it goes. Okie doke. Line these guys up. And we'll screw these guys in. We need Mr. Blue here. So everybody had a good week, I hope. Okay, we'll snug the hot end on. There we go. Nice and secure. Everything's running good. Okay, this long wire, just so you know, I haven't decided where it's going to plug. This is the poke probe wire. So I didn't do an extension on the poke probe wire just because I didn't. So, okay, so now we're going to turn this around. Let's lay it on its back. Let's lay Barbie on her. Oh, let's lay her on her front so we can see her backside here. And we'll just go to the overhead now. And if I can find my little remote control for my overhead, which is right here, and I believe the power's on. Let's just see. There we go. So let's zoom in on this little guy. There we go. Okay, so here's our main board. Hopefully you can see that okay on there. It's bright enough. And then we got all our wires that we took off of the SKR, and we're just going to rewire these guys all up here. So let's make sure that we can do that and that we wire everything correctly so that we do not explode when we power on. You love you a Barbie backside. Still dealing with the aftermath of a crowd strike at work. That sucks. Sorry to hear that. Ooh. Okay. Okie doke. So first thing we got here is this is our main. So this is going to be, this can be either the power, the bed power, or it can be the power for the board. So I will just pop this in. We'll just run this one as the power for the board. Okay. Now the really fun and boring and long part of this build, I can tell you right now, is going to be configuring the firmware, which I've never done for a Trident or a Tri-Zero. But it might not be as bad as I think it might be. So this particular octopus board, I don't remember which build this came with, but conveniently all of the positive terminals are painted red. Same with over here, you can see they're painted red. So that makes life a little bit easier. Okay, then we have another one coming from the mains. And this one, just to make sure, yeah, this is plus and minus. This can go in and be the bed power, which is this one right here. So we have negative. Let me loosen these terminals off. Okay. And you might hear that fan humming in the background because it's right beside me and it's actually blowing into my microphone. So, but it might not. The microphone might be canceling that noise out. Don't know for sure. You might even hear my little puppy dog barking upstairs. I don't know how he barks in this heat. It is hot, hot. It's cooler in the basement than it is upstairs. So, okay, there's our power, bed power, our main power. Now we have a bed out, which is right here. This is the cable that's coming out from my bed. This is not polarity specific, so we're going to be putting this in the bed out. No, this does not have a... my voice sounds funny talking close to the fan, you know, when your voice goes... Anyways, this does not have a specific polarity for the bed out, and I am not using an SSR for the bed. This is going to be a 24-volt powered bed, because it won't take too long to heat the bed up. I don't think. I don't know. And there's the bed out. Bed. And the next one. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that's all the power, that's all the connections we need to put on this port. Of course, we don't need to put motor power in here. They are powered by the drivers. Man, it's so hot down here. My VHB tape that's holding this power supply on is actually starting to release and quote unquote melt that off. Okay, so we have those hooked up. Now we have our stepper motors here. Okay, so we're just going to go, this is our A motor right here. So A motor, we're going to hook up into motor, not motor 0. I can't reach that down. The plugs for the motors were on the other side in the other board, so we were a little closer. And I had shortened these because we were closer, and then I decided to switch boards. So these are now a little longer, a little shorter than I'd like them to be. But anyway, so we're just going to cross over for now, and I may lengthen these later. So it's not going to be pretty, as I said. Barbie's behind is not going to be the prettiest sight to see. So we're going to put A motor in motor 0. We're going to put the B motor, which is this one here, which one was B on this? I believe that was this guy. Let me just cut these and make sure I know which motor is which. Just going to cut these little straps off I used to try and get a little bit of wire organization here. That's all right. Okay, there's our B motor, which is going to be motor 1. Okay, and we have 6 steppers in here, and we're just going to go to the first 6 motors here for these steppers. And then we have our 3 Z motors. There's 2 of them. There's the 3rd Z motor, and then we're going to have our hot end stepper. Okay, so I don't know which one. Where's the middle Z? There's my middle Z will be, I'll call that Z1. So that's this one. We're going to put that in motor 2. Motor 2-1, motor 2-2, and motor 3 are going to be my 3 Zs. Because I don't, motor 2-1 and motor 2-2, I think, no, maybe I have to go to motor 2-1 and motor 3, 4, and 5. I want to make sure how this is going to work, because we have stepper for these 2, and then motor 2-2 and motor 2-1 generally share a stepper, and I don't want to do that. So I think I got to go motor 2-1 and then to motor 3 and motor 4 for the other 2 Zs. Motor 3. Let's get this in. And motor 4 for the other 2 Zs. And then I believe motor 5 is going to have to be my hot end stepper. Because I do believe motor 2 and motor 2-1 and motor 2-2 share one stepper. So we're going to have 0, 1, 2-1, 2-2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then, yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Okay, so let's go ahead and tidy this up at least a little bit to make Barbie at least a little bit presentable. Just for now, to just get these things so they're not in the way of my other connections. And the other thing I did is I did make some cables for the hot end connections that we're going to run down here. So no, I'm going to have to pull up the pin out for the octopus, so I know where I'm plugging what in. Although I can probably use the Voron, any of the Voron. I think it's the either the Trident or the 2.4 build uses the octopus, so I can use those instructions actually for the pins where I'm going to plug what in on the board. So I think that's what I can do as well. Okay, let's snug these wires up a little bit here as well, so that we don't have anything dangling off the bottom. I'll take care of that in a minute. I'm just going to get this zip tie started, get it on there, and there we go. That just sort of just keeps these all from flaying all over the place, so Barbie doesn't have too much crap coming out of her end here. And then for these power wires, I am just going to utilize the fact that we have an open casket. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that off the power supply and just tie them down to the hole in the power supply here. But that might be easier said than done, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to successfully pull a zip tie through here. With tweezers, I should be able to, though. Bear with me. Where's my tweezers? Tweezers. I have 6 pairs of tweezers in this studio, and every time I go to look for one, I can never find one. Who can relate to that? There we go. That works. So we'll just tuck you in here. Tuck you through here. And again, these are just temporary measures to keep this all kind of organized and underneath, so that when I set it down, I don't have any wires touching the table. There we go. And that shouldn't hurt anything in the power supply, because we're not making connection with anything in the power supply. And we're not really blocking any vent holes in there. So there we go. Okay. Everything from the power supply is secured. All of our stepper motors are plugged in. Now we can go ahead and work on the wires coming from the hot end. And the only other thing I got to do, because I changed boards, is I've got to figure out on this Octopus where I can plug in my 5-volt supply for 5 volts for my Pi-Zero 2W. So, hey, Jerry, how are you, sir? 12 people. Not very, very small audience tonight. So for those of you that haven't won any filament in the last, let's say, 4 weeks, you're going to have a really good chance of winning a roll of Polymaker filament later on this stream, if you stick around. I think we'll do the draw around 6:30 tonight, because I don't think we're going to be having a long stream tonight, because tonight's goal is to get everything wired up and turn the power on and make sure that we have no smoke. Because, you know, Barbie should not be smoking anyways. It wouldn't be a good influence on the kids. But we'll just make sure she's not smoking, and if she is, we will spank her. That's too far, I know. So anyways, let's stand her up. So we have all of her hot end wires coming out now. Okay, let's go back to this camera. Okay, so I also spent time this week making up cables for Barbie's hot end. I don't need that one. Just smoking hot. So these are all Barbie's hot end cables. It's not going to look pretty coming down here. I will eventually enclose them, but for now, now is a matter of plugging them in and making sure that they work. We did some testing on the fans yesterday while I was on Jerry's stream. We did a lot of these wire makings while I was on Jerry's stream too. And we tested the fans to make sure which ones, because on the hot end we have a 5-volt cooling fan, and we have 2 24-volt part cooling fans. So we didn't want to mix those up. Definitely didn't want to mix those up. So let's just cut all these wires free. CAN bus will be much cleaner than this, I'm sure, but yeah, we'll take care of that after. If I decide to put the CAN bus on her. If I can get her printing and working, I may just leave it. You know, if she's printing and not worrying about the wiring, then why reinvent the wheel? I don't think this is one that I needed. I don't know why this is there. Don't believe I need that one. Okay, so bring this back, and we're definitely probably going to have to put X and Y end stops on this, and we'll figure that out after as well. As I say, this one here, this is the probe. This is the poke probe wire, so we're going to worry about that after. I've got to check out the pinouts on the board and find out where a probe is going to go. Now, it can probably, it doesn't, yeah, because it doesn't need power or anything, because a poke probe is just either open or closed. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. So I have separated my 2 24-volt fans with specific style plugs, and that would be these 2 right here. This one is my 5-volt plug. So, oh, sorry, that's not a, where am I? I'm backwards here. This one and this one are my 24-volt, and this is my 5-volt. I don't want to mix those up. So what we're doing is we are sharing, is it this one? Yeah, we're sharing one wire. We're going to share one plug, and we're going to connect the 2 24-volt fans together. We tested that yesterday, works fine. We got the polarities right, so let's go ahead and plug in this 24 volter. Positive and negative are correct. We'll plug in this 24 volt fan. And there's that one. So that's going to go to the board as a 24 volter. We're just going to zip tie this guy. How come one is a little bit longer than the other? We're going to put we're also going to add, we have a piece here that we're going to add that's going to basically clean up all the wiring up on the top, on the hot end up here. So actually maybe this other camera will give you a little better view of this. There we go. And that piece that I am looking for is this guy right. Where did I put it? I printed it. I think it's this one. I believe this is it. Maybe I'm. Is that the right one? Is that the one there? No, that's not the one I'm looking for. What's this piece for? Okay, we'll figure that out. Let's see. Maybe that's another piece I have yet to print. There were so many little pieces involved in this build. This is something to do with cable management, I know for sure. Actually, maybe that one. No, that is the right width. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Those little I need those little threaded pieces. Where did I put? Oh, there they are, right there, right in front of my face. There they are. These are the ones I'm looking for. Except I'm missing heat insets in one of them. But that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Unless how did I manage to forget putting heat insets in one of those things? It must be one of those cases where you're supposed to see me burn my fingers by putting heat insets in something, but that's okay. We can quickly add heat insets into those. Let's just go ahead and plug this little sucker in. Get it heated up. Here, go back to this. Turn this on. There we go. Take the cap off, grab a couple heat insets, and get this done. When you do so much on a build, you forget little things. That's all right. Okay. So basically what's happening is I'm just getting this other piece. Did I just drop that other piece? Where did I put it? It's underneath this thing. Okay, there we go. So here we have one of these that goes on this side. Actually, I'll put this on the far side. No, that wasn't a plug for a comic, although the far side is a great comic. So put that one over there. And then we got another one to go on the other side. And then this should fit right in there. Yeah, on the back of this. And then screw into these two heat insets here, and that is going to be my cable management on the back. Okay, are we hot? Yeah, we're hot. Well, we're not hot, but the iron is hot. So here, just in case I burn my fingers, you guys want a front row view, that's fine. Because anything is possible on this channel. So far, so good. Although that bottom does get really hot. And the second one. A little further. There we go. Sorry guys, no burns. Okay. Oh, that is hot. Don't hold on to that. Let's put this heat inset tool away. Always put your tools away where they belong. Okay, and then we'll let this cool off here. Just cool it off in the fan. Strike while the iron is hot. Yes. There we go. Let's just make sure that it's cooled off pretty good. Okay, so we'll screw this other one in here. There we go. Now we should be able to put this in here, and that looks like I can get away with 6mm M3s. 6mm, probably. Oh, might need 8s. Let's see. We'll see. We go with button heads here. A couple. 6mm button head. There's one. There's two. And that's going to require Mr. Goldie here. And let's see if this is the right. Yeah, that's going to be long enough. Right there. Whoops. And right there. And those two, oh, they don't. I thought those would line up in the bottom here. Obviously, they don't. Those are for the screws that hold the hot end on, but that's okay. So that's where we're going to be able to hook our wires up to here. So good. Okay, so we have our 24-volt part cooling fans. This guy here is going to be the 5-volt hot end fan. I did all these cables. I wired all these cables up yesterday, so you didn't have to watch any boring wiring going on. Nobody wants to watch me crimp wires anymore. There's our 5-volt part cooling fan. Yeah, I made these cables way too long, but yeah, I figured better too long than too short. This is our stepper motor, which is this guy right here. And I should have got the wire colors correct here. We have black, green, red, blue. So that's our stepper motor. And this guy here, the yellow one, is our thermistor, hot end thermistor. And all I used for these up here was the oh, what are those called? Those are called I use these plugs here. They're the 2.5mm pitch JST SM male and female connector kit. That's what I'm using to hook these up. Makes for some just convenient plugs here. So we have all that, and then of course the last but not least is we have our heater cartridge, which I've left open on the end because we're going to have to bare that and put some ferrules on it in order for that to go in over into the connection on the octopus. And again, there's no polarity on the no polarity requirements on that one. So there we go. So there is all of our wires going to the board from the hot end. And yes, it is a royal mess, but that's okay. So let's get a zip tie for now. We're not going to enclose these wires yet until we make sure everything's working. The chances are something is going to have to be fixed. So let's just see how it goes on. Okay, so we're going to wrap all this around here. I may need a bigger zip tie. No, this should work. And if we come up above this and I connect this thing under that little lip, oh, well, that didn't work perfect, but that's okay for now. And then we got this cluster of plugs. And again, we're going to definitely have to obviously do something because we don't want these wires interfering with the belts here. So as I say, this is just temporary setup here for now. Please don't judge me by my wiring. Judge not ye who wires thee, or something like that. I don't know. However you want to say it. And pull this one. Where are you two going? And I'm going to put one more zip tie in here. Right about there. There we go. Now we'll plug into the board. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Try and keep this upright like this. And let's see if I can't get this other camera to sort of show what I'm doing here. Okay. Here we go. That's kind of okay. Okay, so I know that our fans are right here. And our end stops are here, which we don't have to worry about for now. We have our heater. We can go to heater 0 for our hot end here. We got to put some ferrules on that. And we have our thermistor, which I believe our thermistors are going to be here. So I'm going to pull up one of the manuals for the, I think the 2.4 or Trident. It doesn't matter, but they both use the same board if I'm not mistaken. And I can go off of that wiring diagram. Actually, you know what? The best place to go for that, let me just move this out of the way. And we're going to do this. We're going to scooch over here. We're going to open a web page. Let's take you over here. And we're just going to go straight to the LDO site. Okay. So I should be able to find what I'm looking for in here. Let me move my head out of the way. There we go. Okay. So if I go 2.4 kit and wiring guide, let's just make sure that we are in fact still using the octopus in here. And we are using the octopus. Good, good. So I can go ahead and use this as my cheat sheet per se, even though we're not using an SSR, yada, 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 but we are using the same board. And this is just going to tell me where the plugs are for the various things I need to plug in. Okay, we don't have to worry about all the mains wiring. That's fine. We don't have to worry about the LED strips, etc., etc. So RPI power. Okay, so this is where we can actually find where the power for the RPI is going to go in. Actually, it's going to, we can power it from the USB. Looks like we can power it from the USB. Kits with one USB cable, power PCB and power cable. Kits with 2 USB cables. Well, so I can power the Pi through the USB. That works fine too. Okay, so let's move on. Don't worry about Ethernet jack. Oops, I missed a bunch of stuff, obviously. Anybody there? We still have people watching, 13. Okay, good, good, good. Again, better chance of winning some filament. Okay, so we're going to put the hot end fan, hot end heat in here, no problem. We know that. And the pink and the green are the hot end fan and the part cooling fan. Fair enough. That's going to be the first two. And we know that hot end fan and part cooling fan are different voltages. So we got to make sure that on here, and I believe it goes 5, 12, 24. But that's what I got to make sure on this one jumper here for the fans. Each set of pins represents either 5, 12, or 24 volt. And I just want to make sure of the order of that. So that's why I need to order the pin out, because it's not showing it here. But if I just do a quick search here for a BTT Octopus 1 pinout, and if I just open this pinout diagram right here, is this going to be big enough? Is that going to be big enough for me to see? Come on. There we are. Yeah, that's going to be big enough. So here. So if we go here, whoops, and we're looking at these pins right here. So here we go. So J58. Yeah, okay, so 24 volt is closest. So we have 24 volt, 12 volt, and 5 volt. So when it's pinned closest to the plug, they are 24 volts. So we're going to use, in this case, we're going to put the part fan on the first one after the connectors there, and then we're going to put the hot end fan there. So we want 24 volts for the first one and 5 volts for the second one. No, hang on. 5 volts for the first one, 24 volts for the second one. The part fan, we want 24 volts. Don't mix those up. Okay, so we have 5, 12, 24. So right now, these first two are already set for 24 volts. So if we use the first one, which is the green, as the part fan, that's fine. So we'll find our part fan, which is the shared connection here. This is our part fan right here. So that is going to go in the first one. Actually, what I'll do before I do that is I'll switch that pin on the second one, because it might be a little easier to get this pin out without that other plug-in. So we'll pull this pin. Okay. And we'll move that one out to the 5 volts right there. So we have 5 volts for the second one and 24 volts for the first one. Okay. So there's our part cooling fan right here, which is the first one. Yep. Why are you not going in? Tell me I did the right size plugs on this. I know I did. And the part cooling, the hot end fan is this one here, which is the 5 volts. And that goes in the second one. And there we go. So there's our part cooling fan, our hot end fan. Okay, next we need this guy, which is, how come I have another one here? I'm confusing myself by using the same color wires for something. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? What is this one? I have to undo these and trace them back. I knew I shouldn't have zip tied them together yet. What's a man to do? Down to 11 viewers. Awesome. Okay, so this one, that one. Where's the one I was just inquiring about? This one. What the heck have I got going here? This there. This one here. Oh, that's my probe. Okay, that's my probe fan, so I'm not worrying about that. Okay. That makes sense now. Okay. That's my probe. So these guys can sit aside for now. So really we just need our stepper motor plugged in here. Okay. Which is going to go right here. Okay, and then we have our thermistor. So let's just check and see on here where the thermistor is going to go. That was hot end thermistor. If I can zoom in on this a little bit. Okay. Oops. Hot end thermistor is the pink, and it's going to go, goes in the second one. So we'll keep that in the second one. I mean, I just like to keep the pinouts as simple as I can, and if it's already going to be set, oh, mind you, the firmware doesn't necessarily mean the firmware is going to be set for this particular pinout, but we'll figure it out. Okay, let's go to the second one there. So that is going to be from the top. So we're looking at the power down here, and we're going to come up, and it's the second last one. It's going to be the hot end thermistor, which is right. We have our chip here. It's going to be right in here. Hot end thermistor right there. Okay, there's our hot end thermistor. So now we just have our probe and our hot end heater. Okay, so I can zip these back up a little bit now that I've got that figured out. You've been running some test prints on your new completed 0G Mercury 1. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to tidy these up a little bit again as they were. Okay. I wonder, let me try something here, because I know it can get kind of quiet and boring. Let me see. I'm going to play some music from the StreamYard library. Huh. That's not bad. Good. Royalty-free music. That way it's not so, I don't know, dead air when I'm not talking, when I'm actually just standing here thinking. And yeah, because I know when I think, I can't talk at the same time. I don't know if anybody else has that problem sometimes, that you know, you just can't talk and think at the same time, but we'll see. Okay. So let's go ahead and hook up the heater wire, and then we'll just sort all this wiring out in a minute. In a cotton minute, but all of this just to get the power turned on, right? Right. So here's our heater wire. Okay. Here, let's just switch to this guy. Grab my ferrules. And probably get away with the gray ones, actually. I think I'll be fine. Let's see. Yeah, they'll be fine, the gray ones. Since we don't have to worry about polarity, I'll just make them both gray. There we go. Those should be fine. Always put your tools away. Barbie appreciates that. Let's zip up. Sounds like I have a club next door. Oh. Okay, now we're going to put this in heater 1. I need a tiny, tiny screwdriver. Where's my little red one? Here we go. This one should work. Okay. That's too big. It's too big. That's what she said. Okay. And the black one. Oh. Here we go. Okay, so there is our hot end heater cartridge put in place, and then finally we have, and I don't quite know where the probe is going to go. I've got to investigate that, but that's fine. But for now, I'm going to take this little bit of a mess and try and get a little bit of, well, not much, but some organization in these, just so they're not all just hanging loose and floppity flippity. And we'll power it on soon. See if we get power to the main board. Oh, I got to figure out the Pi power. Okay, we'll do that just to get this all semi-organized. And then we just have the probe wire. We got to figure out where the probe is going to go. And then we're going to obviously have to put some end stops in. I'm pretty sure I can utilize one of these ports here for the probe eventually. So, and I just have to in firmware tell it where that is, and that's what it's going to do. Okay, so there we are with all the wiring other than the probe wire and the Pi. Now, what do I have for Pi wires here? Let's just see. I have a data cable for the Pi here, which is not a problem. This, or maybe I don't. All the cables I have are for the Pi 3. Let's see what I've got here that I can use. Well, there's an end stop switch that I can use down the road. And I don't think I have any wires that I can power with the Pi for now, unless I can find which one of these, if I can plug this 5-volt connector into the Pi somewhere. Let's just have a quick look at the pinout and see what we can use perhaps. Let's go back to the display. And we'll go make that a little smaller again. Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this. There we go. Where's the pinout? Right here. No, actually there was something on here showing 2 options for powering the Pi. Right here, Raspberry Pi power. So either the USB or, oh, there's a separate little board here. I get it. Okay. And I use that. I believe I use that on the Trident. So I'm going to have to probably power it through the USB. Yeah, it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. And then my Pi data can come into the micro or the USB-C. Okay. So I think I'm going to need to get a, here, let me pop this Pi off of here. Because right now I've got, this is the Pi we're using. And so that's our power. So we need a micro USB, mini or micro, I never know the name of it. But right now I have that for a 5-volt connector. And I'm going to need to have actually that as a 5-volt connector. But I don't, or is this the same plug? No, it's not the right plug on this one. I have so many cables. Let's just see if I have the correct cable for that. Sounds like you have a, oh, how did that type get extremely small? Why did that? Oh, there we go. I shrunk down the chat and I couldn't see anything. There we go. Okay, let me grab my cable box here. Let's see what I got. That one, that's a HDMI. That is a USB-C extension cable. This one, USB-C to USB. Nope. USB-C to USB. That's not going to work. That's the USB-C. I have all, man, so many USB-Cs. And that one's going to work right there. Do I have a shorter one though? Let's just see if I have a shorter one. That one right there is probably shorter. Now I also need a mini USB to USB-C for the data, which I doubt very much I'm going to have one of those. That's a pretty rare cable. Oh, look at that. Mini USB to USB-C. It's long, but it'll work. See if I have one shorter. No, I don't. But any number of these. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I have a handful that will work here. They may just not be the permanent thing. So there's a short mini USB. I don't know if it's mini or micro USB. Who knows? Hey, Mark Flanagan. Hello, hello. Let's see if I can switch that music up because I think it just repeats over and over. Material Girl Special Day Instrumental. Let's see what that sounds like. So this guy, so we're going to use this for power in. Okay. And then we have this long one, which is too long, but it'll work for now. This can be the data cable for now until I can get a shorter one. Although maybe not need a shorter one. So the cable's too long. I just bundle it up in the back. Okay, come on. I don't like twisty twist ties. Oh, sure, it's twisted that way halfway, and then the other half is the other. There we go. Okay, so this, as you see, is really long, and I don't need that long. But for now, it'll do the trick. So we go, this is going to be our data. There we go. So now if I can put this Pi back in place. Okay, so here's our short one. Let's just run this through and behind. This is going to be for the power to the Pi. Oi, oi, this is going to interfere with the belt. and definitely going to have to do something different here. So there's the Pi power, although if I just bring that down like that, we're going to be okay. We're not going to hit the belt. Okay. Here, let me zoom in on this a bit. So we've got, oh, that's pretty dark here. Let me shed some light on this for you as well. This should make things a little better. There we go. Woo, ghosty. So we have our data going up, or our power going into here. And then we have our extremely long data wire. Hey, Sergio. We'll run this through here. And then this is going to go up under here into the USB-C port on the Octopus. There we go. So that's our data cable, which we can actually just put in beside this. So I'm going to just for now, because this is so freaking long, and we don't need it that freaking long. I'd probably get a shorter one. These cannot be expensive cables. Holy crap-a-dolly. So let's just, for now, let's just go bundle it, and bundle it, and zip tie it, just to get it out of the way, so we can do what we all came here to see. Give Barbie some voltage. Okay. There we go. That's way too much cable, but that's okay for now. Okay. As I said, forgive my wiring. Don't judge me by my wiring. Or whatever. You can if you want. Okay. Everything, the only thing that's not plugged in wiring-wise is the probe. And I'm not worrying about that for now. Okay, so let's turn this brightish light off. There we go. And let's do some power. Let's add some power. Just going to put a couple things away first. Just a couple tools. Okay. And I am very confident, I'm so confident, in fact, that this is going to work, that I want you all to get ready with your screen captures. Thank you, Jerry. Yes, donations are always welcome. In the description of my channel, there is a link to a PayPal donations. Everybody is always welcome to donate to my channel. Not expected, but I appreciate anything. Okay, spare zip ties. I'm just getting anything that could potentially catch fire out of the way. Ha 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 ha. No, we're going to be good. I guarantee we're going to be good. Okay, there we are. We have everything. That's going to be an issue with that bed cable. We're going to fix that up later. What I did here is the issue I just see is right there. That's the bed cable. It's got to come around, but I need to have more length for when the bed goes up and down. That's okay. That's a minor change later. For now, we need to go ahead and take this end of the power plug. Let me move this so you can kind of see. Okay. There's the power plug. Here, let's lower that camera a little bit. Just a bit. There we go. There we go. Oh, I have to keep the name in case you do a screenshot. That is, so it says Do It 3D Canada right there. There we go. We're going to plug it in. The switch is off. We're going to plug it in, but we're also going to now just double check everything and just ensure that we have bed out, bed power, power to the main board. Okay, we have our hot end heater plugged in. We have all our steppers plugged in. Okay. As I say, the only thing not plugged in is the probe wire. Okay. Just going to move this over out of the way so I can see if we get a light on the. I just want to tie that out of the way. See if I want to make sure I get a light on the Pi. Make sure we are getting power to the Pi. So, as a temporary measure, we're going to bind Barbie with zip ties. There we go. Just to keep that wire out of the way. Okay. Everybody ready with your screen captures? 12 witnesses. 1, 2, 3. We have lights. We have lights. Now maybe the Pi doesn't have a light, but we do have lights and we got no smoke. So we have power to the main board. No light on the Pi, but I don't know if the Pi Zero. I don't know if the Pi Zero has a power indicating LED on it or not. So this is good. What I'm going to do, just for giggles, I'm going to try something because I've been toying with the idea of, because we're limited in space in behind this, I've been toying with the idea of maybe putting the Pi 3W, the Pi 3B, and with as an external case mounted on the back, because there's not a lot of room in here. Well, not overly. Well, okay. Let's get a couple things clear. I probably am not going to enclose this printer. I've got enough enclosed printers as it is. I've got the 01, which I'm going to upgrade to a zero spray water on it. There we go. Let's do that, Jerry. So I'm going to power this off, and I'm going to power this Pi. Now, where's the power for this Pi? That's the power in right there. So it's the same plug for the power, and it's just a little different plug for the data, which is okay. So let's go ahead and power this off. Wait till we get clear on the lights there. Okay, we're good. And we're off. Okay, so I'm going to pop this Pi out. Let's pop the 01, the 02W out. Let's go ahead and there's the data, and then the dull one is the power. Let's go ahead and throw the power on this Pi. I just want to make sure we are getting power to the Pi. So I'm going to hold that by its plastic. I don't need the data to see if the Pi is being powered up. And then we're going to power this on again. There we go. Yeah, so we are getting power to the Pi. We can see, hard to see on camera, but we can see there are lights. Maybe shoot this view here. Whoops. Sorry, folks. Yeah, so you can kind of see the green and the red light glowing on the Pi here. So we are getting power to the Pi. So our 5 volts coming from the USB. So I may just, because I'd probably rather, I'm sure the Pi 02W will work, but I'd rather have this Pi 3B that was on the original 01 on this. Gives me a few more options as far as displays, etc. And so what I may do is just do an external Pi enclosure, which sort of sits on the back, and maybe, you know, I'm not overly worried, as I say, about looks on the back, as long as I can access everything and everything works right. So this just may be the way to go. But no smoke. So obviously my wiring connections are all working. We don't know if anything's working as far as motors or hot end or anything until we actually install some firmware and flash the board, etc., etc. Now I need to look up all of that information and get that done. I want to do a lot. I'm probably going to do a lot of the. Here, let me power this off while I talk. I'm probably going to do a lot of the firmware tweaking, etc. I don't want. I'm going to do a lot of that. I'm going to do a lot of research offline. Just have it dangling on the side. just dangle the pie just like that. That would work. Hey, 3D Medic Vince. Nick, I like your train of thought there. We'll just dangle this sucker. But no, I'll make a little. I'll print a pie enclosure, and we will somehow just sort of. I don't know. Here, let's just unplug this pie, and we'll just somehow, I don't know, stick it in the back here, wherever. Doesn't matter. I'm not going for, as I say, this isn't a Malibu Barbie. This is the budget Barbie. This is the yeah. Where are the AA batteries? Well, you got to come here for a minute first. Since you're here, come here. Do your thing. The camera's right over there. No, you're in front of it. Come here. Over closer to me. I promise I won't bite. Look, I won't bite, and I won't tickle you either. No, okay, come here. The green thing. Do your thing.
Hit that like button and subscribe. Bye.
There you go. So you need some AA batteries? How many?
4, including the like I don't know. I need 4.
4 AA batteries coming up.
Because both of the TV remotes are broken. Well, not broken, but like
TV remotes. I think they may take AAAs, but I might be wrong.
No, I saw a AA.
Okay, 3, 4. There's 4 AA batteries. There you go. Don't spend them all in one place.
Also, what's that, like the skinny remote? You know that,
yeah.
That skinny one? How much? What battery does that one need?
I think it takes AAAs. So here, I'll give you 2 AAAs. 1, 2.
I don't know how to put the batteries in it.
Mummy will. Mummy knows how.
Okay.
Okay. See ya.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Okay. It's Barbie's little sister Skipper. Oh, that's good. This interruption brought to you by AAA and AA batteries from Kirkland at Costco. Okay, guys. So that's what I think we'll do is get this thing mounted off to the side somehow, and we'll use that pie for it. I'm going to, we have successful power up. I want to power it on again just to see. Yay, no smoke. And I like to, I'm smelling Barbie's rear end to make sure I don't smell smoke. Get a screen capture of that, yeah. No, I don't, everything seems to be good. There's nothing miswired that I know. So it's going to be fun to see, though, when I get the firmware in and I get this flashed, what the motors are going to do. So I do definitely have to fix, and I'm glad I noticed this. This wire is going to be too short because the bed's going to be, well, maybe not, because the bed's not going to go up that much higher. So we're about halfway through the bed movement, and I need to also figure out where I can plug this probe. Normally you're going to have, well, actually, if I read through the boron documentation, it may have a place where to plug a probe in this board. We just got to figure out where it's going to be on this one. And so, as I say, what I'm going to do is research the firmware through the week, figure out what I got to do, and I'll try and do some of the firmware configuration and motor testing and stuff on my stream next Sunday. I'm shooting to have, based on the schedule we've been doing, and I know this build has been going on a long time, and I appreciate everybody's patience, but I'm praying and hoping and shooting to have plastic pushing through this in 2 weeks. It's going to take me a little while with the in the pockets of time that I have to get the firmware all configured for the Tri-Zero. It's going to be probably similar firmware to the Trident. I'm sure I can probably even use a Trident configuration file for it, and then just configure everything down, scale it down to Barbie size. So be sure the first print is pink, Jerry. It will be. I have pink ASA, and I believe I have pink PLA. Yeah. Oh, the first print will be pink, and the first print. it's got to be Barbie related. It really does got to be Barbie related. So anyways, let me unplug this from her. There we go. What are we at? We're at 6:16. So another 10 minutes, 16, 26, 30, 14 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, we will do a draw for a roll of Polymaker. We may even call it a shorter early stream tonight because we've accomplished what we set out to do, and that is get some power going in and make sure the wiring is hooked up correctly. I do believe I'm going to need to sneak in some X and Y end stops somewhere in this build, and I got to definitely figure. This was just again, I'm going to have to put a loom or put something in to cover this wiring up. This was just to keep it, you know. Anyways, you guys know what I mean. This was a power test. This was not a motion test. So this is just a test. But we're getting to that point. So X and Y end stops possibly needed. Shouldn't be too difficult to figure out where to put a Y end stop in here. The X end stop, I'm not sure. Or I could go for sensorless homing, I'm sure, but I don't know. I think X and Y end stops are a little better because with sensorless homing you have to have exact specifications for the bed size and everything. So not that you don't for this, but yeah. Hi, print a pink pump. Hey, that would work too. I may do that. So let's put Barbie aside for a moment. Okay, you are wired, Barbie. See, and from the front, she doesn't look too bad. You don't really see all of her rear end mess, right? From the front, she looks pretty. So, and she's going to have pie, and Barbie likes bigger pie than little pie, so that's why we'll put the big pie in. We'll find an enclosure for this, and we'll get that enclosure put on, and we'll stick that enclosure to her rear end somewhere. What is on the floor over there? Okay. Anyways, why don't we do a draw? What the heck? Oh, did you hear that? Somebody dropped. That was probably Ethan dropping the remote controls on the floor while he's trying to change the batteries. That was a loud bang. So I want to thank Polymaker for making it possible for me to give away a spool of filament every live stream. If you've won within the last few weeks, so in other words, and I don't think they're on stream tonight, but Leo the Human, Andy Visley, Steve Elta are not eligible tonight. So if your name is Leo, Steve, or Andy, bye-bye. No, I'm kidding. See if lightning strikes twice for you. But we're going to go ahead and prepare the draw. And you got to be here. You got to be present to win a stream of filament, to win a roll of filament. And if you do win, if you're the lucky winner, you're going to have to email me at an email address, which I will put on the stream after the draw, and just email me and I will email you a claim link for your prize. So let me find the page. Oh, helps if I know how to spell. There we go. And then I can click on this one. Select my stream. There it is. And we are going to use the term hashtag. Don't put it in yet. Okay. Here we go, guys. So, boom. Put this in chat. Hashtag Polymaker for your chance to win a roll of Polymaker filament courtesy of Polymaker. Pretty in the front, messed up under the hood. Perfect metaphor in there somewhere. There is. You did, Steve. And unfortunately, we're going to limit it. I know I said last week 3 weeks, but we're going to limit it to 4 weeks because we don't get as many people viewing the stream here. Every time I start the giveaway, though, somehow it seems that the viewer count climbs. It's really weird. It's almost like there's a bot out there that says, hey, DeWitt 3D Canada is doing a giveaway. So let's see who is going to win. we'll give it, we're 6:21. We'll give it by 4 minutes or so, and for the entries. So is anybody, while we're waiting and talking, I'm going to go get something, which I think is kind of cute. I actually got to glue something on it. But I've been, one of my upcoming projects I want to do, or one of my upcoming series of videos I want to do, for some uncanny, unknown reason, is I want to print a lot of the bamboo kits. So I did this one, and it's really cool. This little bamboo boat. I love this little thing. I got to glue the top piece on yet, but I like this little thing. It's a little. They were on sale with their anniversary sale. I think it was $3 or something for this little motor. And you print the boat part, and apparently it really does float. And then you wind up the little motor, and you can zoom your boat around. That's really cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I only enter one time. You can you will not get more chances if you enter more than once. David Wilson spelled it wrong. Did you? You might have. But anyways, these are cool. I've got a whole bunch back on the bench over here. I've got a whole bunch of the bamboo projects, and that's going to be one of my goals, is to build a bunch of these bamboo projects and show them off and see how they work and see how they go. From the very simple ones like the boat to the complicated one like the jet engine, or the oh, what's the other complicated one that I think is going to be, oh, this one here is going to be fun too. I'm looking forward to building this. It's the wireless charging kit. So it's the A1 Mini model wireless charging kit, which looks pretty cool too. So there we go. So we have 10 entries. 10 entries, that's it. We have 9. Oh, we only have 9 people. I've lost a couple people's interest already. Holy crap. 9 entries, 9 people watching and 10 entries. What are the chances that the person that wins is going to be the person that just dropped off the stream? We're going to have to get more viewers. I don't know. For some reason today, I don't have nearly as many viewers as I usually get on the Sundays. So there must be either another stream going on, or something's happening Sunday somewhere. So, but that's all right. Do your DeWitt light box. Yeah. That's a good idea too, Russ. I think people are hedging their bets on cap sensitive or not. I do not believe it is case sensitive. We do have 10 entries. Yeah, no, I don't think it's case sensitive. Murphy's Law. Yeah, Murphy's Law would be right. So, okay, we'll give it 1 more minute, and when my clock strikes 6:25, we'll do the draw. I think gotta have your own Polar Ted Club. My own Polar Ted Club. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, where's my pen so I can notate the winner? There's my pen. Okay. Okay, 11 entries. Oh, 11 entries, 11 people watching. Look at that. Who was the last second entry? Michael Ralph. Okay, we are at 6:25. We are going to do the draw in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Come on, DeWitt 3D. Domentarian, speak up in chat. You are the winner of the July 21st Polymaker giveaway. But you got to say something in chat. I got to make sure you're still online, Domentarian. There you are. Good job. Awesome. So what you got to do is I'm going to put my email in chat, and I will email you a link tonight. It's DeWitt3DCanada@gmail.com, and just go ahead and drop me an email tonight. Make sure when you fill out the form you use your online screen name, Domentarian, otherwise it will not be honored. So I'm going to write that down. Okay, awesome. Congratulations. So go ahead and send me an email anytime, tonight, tomorrow, whenever you want. And when I get that email, I will send you a link where you're going to click and you're going to fill out your winner information for Polymaker. I almost said for LDO. No, you didn't win a printer. And then they will give you I think what they do is give you a coupon or a link or a coupon code where you'll go on and purchase your filament and then apply that code is how that works. So congratulations. And good luck to everybody else next time. Join me next week. We'll be doing this every live stream that I do. And thank you so much again to Polymaker for making this possible. And yeah, absolutely. So we're going to call it tonight. So we kind of accomplished our goals quickly and early tonight, which is great. We got all the wiring hooked up, except for the probe, which I'll figure out. And then we plugged it in, did the power test, and that's a good thing when we don't have issues with the power. So you guys have a wonderful week. Next week, we're going to start on, I'm going to try and get a head start on the firmware and so forth. And next week, hey, I mean, if all goes well, we could possibly try and push some plastic, but I have a feeling next week is going to be more so testing all the connections and testing the motors, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah. You're trying to play with me, Tim. I stalled the name before moving to the stalled on your, yeah, it does that. It stalls on the last name and then boop, then the winner. So you were so close, but next week you'll be better. So you guys have a wonderful week. I appreciate everybody that's been here and hung around, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye for now.